Hello, so today I'm going to be talking about my trip to Europe over the 2019 summer. The two places I went were Spain and Croatia. While I was in Spain, I went to the city of Barcelona. It was my second trip to Spain I've ever gone on, but this was probably my favorite. I loved going to a place like Barcelona because it was a big city with a lot of cultures, which is something I really thrive in because I really like the urban environment. I really like cities up in the US like New York, and Barcelona didn't remind me of it in a lot of ways, but in a few it did, just with the whole city vibe. It didn't remind me, with the aspects of Times Square and those sort of things, but I really did enjoy it because of all the different vibrant cultures that were there. It was cool to be in a city like Barcelona because of all the different architecture. I was able to experience a different language, with Catalan being a language that's spoken there. I speak Spanish fluently at home with my dad, which was something that was spoken there, but they also speak Catalan, which is a little bit different. I was able to get by with Spanish, but that was short-lived once we went to Croatia. So the second thing I'm going to talk about is when we went to Andorra and France. So since we were in the northeast corner of Spain, we were able to just drive in. So we drove into a little country called Andorra. And that was cool, getting to speak Catalan, learn a few things, and learn a little French. And since I take French at school, trying to learn a third language, it was nice to incorporate some of that education into real life. And this is just a little look at the Pyrenees Mountains. So after that, we went to Croatia. This is a city called Split. Croatia was really cool because we went from knowing the language we were speaking to not knowing the native language at all, which was a bit of a challenge, with a little bit of a language barrier. There are some people that speak English, but definitely it was a challenge reading signs and, sometimes just getting around and getting directions. Currency was different, and the system and the value and everything. A dollar here is a lot more than a dollar there, so that was definitely adjusted. The euro was a little bit easier, and we had already been to Western Europe before, but Eastern Europe was probably the first time. So this is just another look when we were in Split. And then in the background, you can see the Adriatic Sea. This was a spot we stopped for lunch. The Adriatic Sea was really cool. That was definitely something that was different. Another thing that was different was people's attitudes. We definitely noticed that people were a lot more reserved and not as friendly in Croatia as they were in Spain, and they are here. Like when people would bump into someone, they would just kind of pass by as opposed to stopping and talking. So the Adriatic Sea, one of the reasons that was really interesting was how clear it is. And you can't really see it here, but we'll see it in another picture. Apart from how clear it was, we really liked the flora and fauna. That was really different. And this tree right here is really an example of something you would never see back home. And then this is another balcony view. And then this is our view from an island called Hvar. Hvar is one of our favorite islands. We went to another one called Corsula I'm going to talk about later, but we really liked Hvar. It was kind of a vibrant party island. Again, people's attitudes weren't really optimal, but it was cool to experience a different culture. And there's a little look at how clear the sea was. And then this is the one we saw at Corsula. So when we went there and saw the Adriatic Sea, we were able to get an opportunity to see how, this teal color started to appear in the sea, something we had never really seen back home. We had seen in pictures, but never really seen firsthand. And then this is another look at it from another island we went to. We went on a submarine ride, too, and were able to see other fish that we don't see back home either. And then lastly, this is a look at the city of Dubrovnik at night. This was a really cool view I got just after the sunset, and jet lag was definitely an issue coming back home, but this was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be able to go that far. This is the city where Game of Thrones was filmed. I'm not a huge fan, but it was cool to go there and think that this is where it all happened. So thank you for listening.